Hello, my fellow followers of Samurai Zaript here. And this is another match of playoff stage of Aggony 1-1 Championship 2012. This is a match between Aggony, PrussianPrince and Taiko, and I don't really know what clan he is from. I apologize for that. And you should remember that in the second group stage the game is played first two games played on a Sega event, second two games on a Waterfalls. And here we go. So let's take a look at army compositions and see how these players approach to this map. PrussianPrince have... Whoa! From the very first game he's bringing two Marines. Infantry the Marine and United States Marines. He have Imperial Guard Cavalry, Vanilla. His hierarchy is not particularly highly vetted. It's 4 hierarchy with 2 chevrons each. And to make up for lack of cavalry power, he have 5 spear levies. He also have 3 Whitebeards with 1 upgrade in reload each. Interesting, and his general gun gen, which is surprising. I have been talking a lot about how Imperial Guard Cavalry with 150 range is not very good choice on this map, and now PrussianPrince bring gun gen. But it makes sense with his strong line, but still gun gen with gun, but we will see how he use it. Now for Taiko, he have, I guess, 4 hierarchy level 6. 2 hierarchy level 6 it seems. 1 hierarchy level 8. Wow. Cool unit. Shogun Guard Cavalry level 4, and I can't see one more hierarchy. Okay, 3 hierarchy level 6 and 1 more Shogun Guard Cavalry level 3. So he have 6 melee cavalry units. He also have Imperial Guard Cavalry, Vanilla here, 3 Shogitais and 3 Spear Levies. So this is a melee rush, and his gen is Bushido gen with gun enabled. Some skirmishing in the middle going on. Here PrussianPrince tries to take some shots in Taiko's cavalry, gets 5 kills with his general, and we will see how he manages it. And he actually manages it very poorly, in my opinion. But, well, not so poorly. This hierarchy runs away, but now the general of PrussianPrince decimated. It's kind of destroyed completely. And you see how Taiko targets this line to get more pressure, because he knows that general will run anyways. And now he sneaks his hierarchy right after. He lost his Shogun Guard Cavalry, but he got the general. I guess it's worth it. And now I have to stop it, because this is a turning point of the game. Here Taiko got very good exchange. Shogun Guard Cavalry for the general. Maybe not against this army, because of these 2 United States, because of these 2 Marines. PrussianPrince have 2 morale auras, so loss of the general isn't that devastating. Yet this is a good exchange. And now his hierarchy of Taiko getting this Whitebeast. So this flank is kinda tangled up in a fight with if this hierarchy gets back. So all these units can't participate in the fight just because of one hierarchy screwing them around. But here Taiko basically throws away his game, in my opinion. I don't know if you can play this bet or not, but he sends his melee rush through the choke point. I mean, when you fight against melee rush, what do you want? You want your opponent to clamp up his melee units so that you can easily stop them with your melee units, and you have your line to shoot at them. And Taiko getting an advantage here and basically throws it away, in my opinion. And we will see how it goes. And He kinda used his hierarchy very well. He gets this Imperial Guard cavalry, some kills at least. But here we will see how this Miller Rush goes for him. First volley, 44 kills in one volley. And you see how many spear levies Prussian Prince have. His cavalry weaker, and he sends his spear levy to help his cavalry instead of protecting his United States Marines. But now you see how in this choke point, interestingly enough, this infantry, the Marines, can shoot. They have a line of sight here. White bears on the hill, and now all the cavalry of Taiko tangled up here. You see, instead of charging these United States Marines through the middle, Taiko got tangled up in a fight with these spear levies, with this very cheap hierarchy of Prussian Prince. So, and suddenly it looks very bad for Taiko. I mean, even in a choke point, you still can kind of win, but he threw away his cavalry basically here, and he couldn't stop these United States Marines from shooting, and they got already 170 kills. Oh man! And now, look at this. This is a graveyard. We will see at the final stats of Shugitais of Taiko, but it doesn't look like they killed a lot. Still some kills, but I guess it's... look at the line of Prussian Prince. He did lose nothing. His line is completely safe. So, very bad decision here going through this choke point. And not only the choke point, I mean, you probably can sneak your Miller Rush here outside of line of sight, but not here where Prussian Prince can shoot basically from all the sides. But if you try to go here, Prussian Prince have a lot of time to back up. Yeah, I guess this one decision screwed it up for Taiko. And here he did surprisingly well. Prussian Prince kinda played very sloppy with his general. And game coming to an end. 1-0 in favor of Prussian Prince. Let's take a look at the final stats. And oh, I remembered one thing I forgot to tell you. This game was streamed live by Prussian Prince. He streamed his from a first-person view, and I actually suggest you to go and look at it. It doesn't have any voice commands, but it's a nice example of how you can approach micro new unit. And Prussian Prince plays like a StarCraft player. He doesn't move his camera much as I do. If you watch my my live recordings on my channel, or even my commentaries, you may notice that I move my camera a lot. I turn it around, I move it, but Prussian Prince basically does not turn it at all. And he controls his opponent movement using only minimap. So he looks at the minimap constantly, and he doesn't even turn his camera to look how cavalry of his opponent does. It's very cool because it allows him to focus on one part of the map, and it's much easier to micro if you don't turn your camera, because your hands kind of remember how they should put units around. I suggest you to go to the Prussian Prince channel, take a look at that live recording, and maybe make some notes for yourself how you can improve your micro. Okay, now final stats. Because of this spear levies, Prussian Prince brought more manpower than a Miller rushing Taiko, because Prussian Prince have 5 spear levies and Taiko have quite a lot of cavalry. And Prussian Prince even managed to kill more. 100 more. Let's take a look at unit stats. Interestingly enough, this Imperial Guard cavalry paid for itself in the end. I thought Prussian Prince would lose it, but they survived. The United States Marines did well. Well, kinda all three line units that were meeting the Miller Rush did well. Look at this. Level 2 Yariki did very well. Surprisingly, I kinda didn't track them well enough. Spear levies. Yeah, as I told, sloppy play here. Well, Shugitais did kill a lot, but as I told already, mostly spear levies, which doesn't count when you have to deal with two very strong line units. If you don't destroy them, it's over for you. Cavalry, the Shogun Guard Cavalry and Yariki, it's two from the beginning, they did well. But the problem is, when Taiko started rushing, he didn't use his cavalry to target his opponent's line, and line of Prussian Prince were completely open, at least that United States Marines. Awful rush. I can't tell. So it's kind of big decision mistake. Taiko, it felt like he doesn't know how to rush properly in this game. And I told enough about it, I think, so let's take a look at the second one. So, game 2, Saga River again, and I guess in the first game Taiko was an attacker. So I suppose in this game Prussian Prince will bring more aggressive build, and we will see how it will work for him. And once again, if you play melee rush, don't force yourself into the choke point. Don't force yourself in a corner position. It's not good for melee rush. Okay, let's take a look at... Yeah, this time Taiko got much more passive composition. 4 Yariki differently vetted, 3, rank 3, or rank 6, rank 7, and rank 8. Kinda random. Imperial Guard Cavalry Vanilla. Bushido Gen with gun enabled. Royal Marines and United States Marines here. Black Tortoise forces on the front. Two of them. 2 Black Tortoise forces in the back. Very compact formation. 3 spear levies. Kinda interesting. I don't understand the point of this formation, but we will see how it works. Okay. Maybe it's like waves. He can have reinforcement on the back. He can... I don't know. I don't use it, so it's difficult to say for me right now. Okay. Prussian Prince yet again brings very low rank cavalry units. 3 vanilla Yariki. I thought I see the shooting calf, but I don't. Okay, yet again gun gen with 155 range. Not an optimal decision in my opinion. Okay, we have 3 spear levy, 4, yet again 5 spear levy, infantry de marine here. Wait a second. They did... Oh, you see, 144 man... so it's a little bit depleted infantry de marine. And it actually makes sense because this is a unit that usually fire first. And if you have protection of your spear levy against cavalry, you only need to get first row. So I think 100 man infantry de marine can still do. And they are cheaper. Royal Marines and Shogun Guard Infantry 150 range. So 3 150 range units. Scary Force here. Azure Dragon Force and Black Tortoise Force. I don't know. It's and one more white bear. It's kind of difficult to imagine how you would attack with this force. Prussian Prince can go for sword dodger, archery dodger, workshop. Of course, Prussian Prince have an advantage here right now because of 3 150 range units. But with this build, I can't imagine how you would go for full map control. Well, we will see. Maybe his defender doesn't seem so. Overall, it's very difficult to attack with such a build, but against infantry heavy build, it should work. And from the very beginning, Taiko does a very serious mistake. His Black Tortoise forces didn't hide in the forest, and now they're decimated. So basically, Taiko basically throwing this unit for free. And when I watched the live stream of this, Prussian Prince didn't even watch at this cavalry. You see, Taiko have a cavalry flanking, and Prussian Prince played like this. Move camera, move it. So he kind of watched these units just from a minimap. Okay, so far this doesn't look good for Taiko. His United States Marines here taking some casualties. Black Tortoise forces destroyed. These Black Tortoise forces... Oh, Prussian Prince moved his Royal Marines close, I don't know. Taiko got first volley. Okay, let's get far back. And you see, here Prussian Prince does what Taiko didn't do in the previous game. He used his cavalry to hit line of Taiko, and you see, all these spear ladies kinda do nothing. He didn't. Taiko forgot to put them closer to his line, and couldn't stop this charge of line. And at the same time, cavalry of Taiko do nothing, and you see, Taiko cannot really target the main force of Prussian Prince. Overall, very bad coordination of different tools, let's say it that way. So Taiko already losing middle, and his cavalry only getting into the fight, and from a very bad angle, because Prussian Prince already turned his Azure Dragon force back, but they are not shooting. And this cavalry, it's strong, but it's too late. Even this cavalry alone cannot win the game for Taiko, and his line is already destroyed. And you see how he still managed to get through this Azure Dragon force easily, through this vanilla Yaruki easily, but now he have to fight one cavalry unit against one marine with support, and this cavalry will be destroyed easily. So, and this is how Prussian Prince, knowing he have a line advantage, he even moved his Royal Marines in against United States Marines in the forest, and then with help of this Shogun Guard infantry, he still won. I don't really think this was a good move. I think he should have moved spear levies in first, like he did on this direction. But then he made up for it with perfect flanking. This flank of Taiko had no protection from a cavalry, and it collapsed very fast. One white bears with two vanilla Yaruki, like, and destroyed it. And in the middle, Prussian Prince had slight advantage, but this flank collapsing, it was a very fast fight, I should say. And Taiko's cavalry was completely out of the fight, and it's kind of smart thing to do when your opponent have weaker cavalry or no cavalry at all, but you still have to. You still not have to, but need. Yeah, have to. Oh, I apologize. you still have to get a very good coordination of your forces and good timing. And Taiko basically allowed Prussian Prince to start an infantry fight, while Prussian Prince had a clear line advantage. And you don't want to fight your opponent's strength with your weakness, which Taiko did. And he lost. So let's see at this. And you see how, despite having a very expensive, three very expensive 150 range line units, Prussian Prince still have more men than Taiko, just because of that cavalry and because of spear levies of Prussian Prince. 300 men difference in deployed manpower and 400 difference in losses. Let's see here. And all three most expensive units of Prussian Prince did super well, super good, because they destroyed two 150 range units of Taiko, which did okay. These United States Marines kinda went even in terms of cost effectiveness, eye for an eye. Imperial Guard Cavalry did well. So you see, overall cavalry of Taiko did okay, but it was too late, because he did lose his Royal Marines basically for free. These Royal Marines got a volley into spear levies of Prussian Prince, and then they were decimated with this infantry de marine coming a little bit closer and shooting without being shooted at. Black Tortoise Force was decimated in the forest, and one Black Tortoise Force on the right flank of Taiko were decimated by this White Bears and two Yariki coming. You see how this small force that wasn't one liner supported with two very weak but still scary cavalry units, and without Taiko didn't properly stop them, which actually might have cost him the game. Bad coordination of the forces, bad timings. Well, we will see how it goes into the third game, because it's 2-0 in favor of Prussian Prince now. And here we go, third game, Waterfalls. Taiko against Aggony, Prussian Prince, and 2-0 in favor of Prussian Prince so far, I should say. I hate to hurry, but I'm running out of time. I hope I will be able to cast remaining 3 games, but I think I will have to use less pause. And interestingly enough, yet again on Waterfalls, Taiko used this interesting combination, formation. Let's see, two Imperial Guard Cavalry on the front, White Bear and two Blackbeards and White Bear in the middle, Vermilion Bird Force, United States Marines and Vermilion Bird Force on the back. Oh man, yet again, I'm not sure I'm agree with it, but I'm totally not agree with it. Well, at least with Vermilion Bird Forces. Right now he have 5 units with very strong morale and with morale aura. Okay, he have 5 spear levies and full command gen, I guess. No, it's command gen with gun enabled. And he goes for lower ground. He have sword dodge and shrine here, while Prussian Prince goes for an archery dodger. And Prussian Prince get 4 Yariki, level 2 of them level 2, 2 of them vanilla. He got 2 spear levies, Shogun Guard Infantry 150 range, and Shogun Guard Infantry 150 range on the high ground. And here on the low ground, Prussian Prince have 3 Black Tortoise Forces with 3 spear levies. So 5 spear levies for him as well. And yet again, full gun gem. And I don't like this, honestly. I think this map is it's kind of random because of the dodges, and it's very difficult here to make up for your deployment mistakes. And you see, in the previous game, PrussianPrince had a clean line advantage on the front, and here on the front, Taiko have an advantage. So I don't know if PrussianPrince want to meet the front of Taiko. And this kind of look a little bit Napoleonish style on Taiko's side. Front going to fight and maybe die, but he still have reinforcements that are not going to fight yet. Looks interesting. And you see, this time PrussianPrince already started the fight, and it's not very good for him. Look at this. This Vermilion but first half 150 range. Oh my god. Let's say oh my gosh, because I can tell one oh my god. And PrussianPrince shows revolver cavalry level 9. They're decimating these spear levies. Not sure if it's worth it, because now they're in a well, we will see if they're getting shot at. And here PrussianPrince actually sent his Yariki, bad micro here, to charge this Vermilion bot force. And let's see what is happening. Okay, this a lot of happening. This spear levy get decimated by this revolver cavalry. In the middle, PrussianPrince already losing one. Black Tortoise force, they are routing. Taiko now using his white bears to target this revolver cavalry. Here PrussianPrince gets his Yariki in the fight for too long. He will lose them soon. He needs to run from these spear levies. Oh man, this is bad for him. And you see this Shogun Guard infantry still not shooting. Oh, this is bad. Already 20 men left in this revolver cavalry, and they got 130 kills, but it's spear levies, it's not worth it. It's kinda... Well, this seems to be very good for Taiko. No, not very good for Taiko. It seems even, but I don't like how PrussianPrince engaged it in the middle. But it still seems... I know how this game ends, and I'm spoiling the fun for you here, but PrussianPrince will lose this game, so watch closely. It's not... Look, whoa. It's a kind of morale game. Look at this. Taiko got his general in a stand and fight, and his general very well protected. And oh, he have 5 units with more than 10 morale. And with a shrine, Taiko actually got sword dojo. Look, 70 attack for his United States Marines. No wonder, and this 15 attack for this Imperial Guard infantry. For this too. No wonder this spear levy is routed so fast in the middle. Oh, look at this. This is scary unit. 50 morale, 50 melee attack. And it can shoot. These two dodges, man. And this position for Taiko, it's kind of very difficult for PrussianPrince to approach and use his 150 range advantage, if he even have 150 range advantage. Still, I don't see any real advantage on any of the sides, but we will see. And if you look at the bar, Taiko already get manpower advantage. And let's take a look at the quality. PrussianPrince have 2 Shogun Quad infantry, and he already lost his revolver cavalry. And let's take from a quality side of things. Taiko have United States Marines, Imperial Guard infantry, and he certainly have a edge in the melee here. Look how fast this spear levy is dying. And you see this stand and fight general still staying without any problems. 30 of 30. Prussian Prince didn't go for it. At least he didn't manage to sneak his revolver cavalry and get rid of this general. Maybe he got too relaxed after the first two games that went easy for him. Difficult to say, this is a very close game. And I wouldn't say that there is some clear and big mistake, I should say. It's a lot of small mistakes, and they both did a lot of mistakes, I should say. Well, Taiko, I wouldn't say that Taiko did a lot of mistakes, actually, when I think about it. Prussian Prince presented this front, and he bought some time, but because of strange formation Taiko used, and because of this hill advantage, because of this forest advantage, Prussian couldn't use the time he bought himself fighting in the middle. These Black Tortoise forces, they kinda didn't do much, and Taiko got enough reserve to use. And you see, this Imperial Guard infantry of Taiko still alive after fighting against these Black Tortoise forces. Next thing Prussian Prince did wrong, I think, is not disengaging his cavalry from here, and he charged all 4 of his cavalry through this choke point. Considering Taiko got no cavalry at all, Prussian Prince could have easily sneaked 2 cavalry units from the back, and which would cost Taiko the general, I guess. Next one is the revolver cavalry. This spear levy unit isn't worth it, certainly not. Level 9 Yaruki, well, okay, he killed it, but he didn't move out of the range of Whitebeards, which cost him 20 men in a very expensive unit. And then he lost its... can we find it here? No, I can't find it. It died somewhere here. And it didn't kill the general of Taiko yet again. And for the whole time, for the whole fight, Taiko was in a... had an uphill and a forest advantage. So... not particularly well done on the Prussian Prince side. And other thing is, I guess, on both sides where Prussian Prince engaged with his 150 range units, Taiko actually answered with another 150 range units. Vermilion bot force with 150 range here, fighting here. It was nicely destroyed by that Yaruki charge, but still it was... Prussian Prince couldn't use his 150 range units. He got only 2 of them, but here he could have used them, I guess. Difficult to say. I guess maybe... And 2 more things. Taiko probably was a defender, and Prussian Prince kinda got a weaker build. He could have won with this build, but you have to do much better than you usually do. And the second is these dojos. I mean, super important dojos. Surprisingly enough, Sword Dojo played a huge part in Taiko's victory, in a sense, because those spear levies of Prussian Prince did nothing. In the end, I mean, there were no cavalry to stop, and when Prussian Prince sent his spear levies, he basically sent them to die. So let's take a look at... Taiko deployed 100 men more, and he lost 100 men more, but he could have allowed himself to, because he had more infantry. Okay, let's take a look. Well, what can I... This is surprising, this 2 spear levies getting so many kills. This really is surprising. And I didn't you see, I'm kind of, because I rush things, I only watched this replay one time before casting, and I don't know how the spear levies got these skills. I apologize for that. But overall, it's like Prussian Prince attacked a hedgehog, and he couldn't force Taiko to open up. And in the end, Taiko did a very smart thing with his build. I mean, I don't think he needed this 150 range Vermilion Bird Forces. I don't think so. It's just not cost effective. But still, because of that base morale and because of morale aura and because of stand and fight, man, his spear levy didn't rout. His line didn't rout. So, very interesting build, I should say. And very scary. And attacking something like this, kind of super difficult. I don't even know how to approach such a build. At least I wouldn't approach in a way Prussian Prince did. I wouldn't play fast against it. What I would try to do is to use my 150 range units on different, to move around with these 150 range units to try and destroy the hedgehog, to force Taiko to position his 150 range units on kind of, I don't even know on this map how do you break this. It's difficult to imagine, actually. Melee rush can work, in fact, but still, because of the whole all reinforcement, it would be very difficult. And it only will work. Melee rush will only work in the middle of that lower ground, so it's very risky to bring melee rush. Artillery might work well. Yeah, and I wouldn't say that Prussian Prince showed bad performance. If you look at it, it was really close, but because of morale advantage, Prussian Prince should have played even more effectively. This 370 kills on Shogun Guard Cavalry infantry just not enough. 270 kills just not enough. Revolver Cavalry 180 kills, but what kills this is? It's a spear levies. Not enough. And not making Taika pay for the stand and fight. Yeah, very bad. This Yariki, they kinda did well destroying this Vermilion Bird Force, but could have done much better if Prussian Prince did disengage fast enough. Yeah. So it's not like some clear mistake, but I would say initial deployment of Prussian Prince was far from perfect. But it's kind of a lot of not enoughs. Not enough here, not enough here, not enough here. And suddenly this very stable, very defensive and very well thought out build of Taika becoming a wall which Prussian Prince breaks his neck off. It's kind of... It isn't Taika's win because Taika didn't make anything actively. He played smart, he got nice build, he got dodges, he saved his 150 range United States Marines till the very end. He played smart, but he played passively, so it's not like his win. It's Prussian Prince loss in this game. And we have to watch to the next game, I guess, to make a better feeling of this match and how it turned out. So, 2-1, still in Prussian Prince favor. And second game on Waterfalls, and I feel how my pronunciation becoming worse and worse as I'm getting a little bit tired, but I'm not giving up yet, because I have to finish it today or I will not be able to finish it at all. Waterfalls again, and now both players going for a high ground. We have the same dojo layout. It's archery dojo, sword dojo, and shrine. And I think there is small advantage for, I guess, for I don't know. It's not an advantage, but I think that. Oh, okay. 1 second. Taiko got an artillery. Armstrong gun level 9. And the thing is, when they rehost the game, they actually don't rehost it, but just change position, saving the host. And going into the second game, both players know the dojo positioning. So I think it's a little bit easier for an attack in the second game, because he knows for what dojos to go beforehand. It's a little bit easier to bring right build. But it's not that important. Okay, concentrate on builds. Taika have Shogitais. He have 3 spear levies that he is sending for this choke point. With 2 of his vanilla Yariki. Okay, Yarikachi level 4 hidden in this forest. Shogitai level 2 actually. 2 upgrades in melee attack, right? Right. Shogunate Guard Infantry. Shogunate Guard Infantry both have 2 upgrades in reload. Royal Marines here. 2 more Yariki, both vanilla. General command gen with gun enabled. Spear. Okay, now for PrussianPrince. Spear levy here. They're in a bad spot because of this general. No support for these spear levies. Spear levy, so yet again 5 spear levies. 2 white bears, 1 black tortoise force. I'm sorry, I have a phone call. Okay, 1 more white bears. Royal Marines, United States Marines. And yet again, lowly vetted Yariki, 4 of them. And I'm sorry, I missed the moment I watched this game before. Look at this. 12 men lost in this Yariki, and only now it's starting to get some kills. PrussianPrince actually give and move order for his cavalry, and Taiko charged it. So micro mistake here for PrussianPrince. He also have vanilla Imperial Guard cavalry. So this cavalry of Taiko should die, but now PrussianPrince, I think, does a mistake charging in the spear levies. Now let's take a look at the map. So choke point fight, cavalry fight here. Artillery already got 72 kills, and I guess it's a kills of, yep, it's Royal Marines and United States Marines. And some spear levies, I guess. Here, interestingly, let's take a look at this. Yariki charging spear levy. I actually remember this from the game. Look at this. Disengaging immediately. 20 kills, 3 men lost. 22 kills, 3 men lost. This is very interesting, in my opinion. Now here, well, smart thing to do on the PrussianPrince side. He's disengaging with his cavalry and skirmishing with against this spear levy using his shooting cav. But overall, I think this is surprising, very surprising. Nice charge and backing up immediately. I think this is a small mistake on Prussian Prince part at this point. This choke point kinda seal it with the spear levies, and there is no reason for Prussian Prince to keep his hierarchy here. He only needs his general and his Imperial Guard cavalry to get rid of these 3 units of spear levies. Which means Prussian Prince could have easily sent his hierarchy to this side and kinda get back map control. Well, he still have map control because he got all 3 dodges, but Prussian Prince could have kinda threatened this flank, because here, this spear levies, it's kinda huge mistake on Taiko part, splitting. He will lose them. They have no chances of surviving. But Prussian Prince does not use that mistake. He's wasting time of 4 units of his cavalry. This is not effective at all. Now let's take a look at what is happening in the middle at this time. 100 kills already on these Armstrong guns. Wait a second. Oh, this time it's actually not full gun gen. It is some mix. But I can't tell what. Probably command and gun gen. And as I told, this spear levies dying, and you see how 4 units of hierarchy doing nothing. I don't like it at all. And other thing I don't... Oh man, Prussian Prince messed up his orders. Maybe he have them in a group and he gave group moving order, and you see how they... Very bad. This makes effectiveness on artillery much better. And what I don't really like about this game, you see how long Taiko got his line infantry on this side of a river. Now the question is, why would Prussian Prince present his two of his allied units here? He have no reason to. What I do personally, I would hide these units in this forest, maybe in this forest, and wait. It's kinda, you don't need to move them until your opponent crosses this small river, because you can control these dodges basically with only spear levies, right? Okay, action starting. Well, this Shogun Guard infantry is certainly in a good position in the forest against this white bears. It's already winning, but now 2 units of Prussian Prince charging them, and these 2 hierarchy going, trying to sneak around, but now I don't know what Prussian Prince is doing. In the middle he is charging, let's see. And interestingly enough, look how he's using, this is very important. You know, this terrain actually does not allow line of sight easily. For example, these units, they kinda cannot shoot if they stay here. So these Royal Marines got clear line of sight and destroying these white bears. They're shooting back, but they're not effective enough. And this Shogun Guard cavalry are destroying the spear levy, while these Royal Marines only got on this part of a unit shooting. So despite this part of a map looking very flat, it really is not. It isn't. And here, look, these 2 depleted hierarchy of Prussian Prince that were sent to fight this Shogun Guard cavalry, they are dead already because they fought this Shugita as well. And now look at this. This hierarchy tried to sneak around, but because of this hierarchy, they have to waste time running back. So yet again, nice play on a Taiko part, hiding this hierarchy till the very end. Very unlucky for Prussian Prince. And now Taiko actually have a cavalry advantage at this point, because he didn't use his hierarchy, he didn't fought with the spear levies as Prussian Prince did, and now Prussian Prince risked his general. He isn't micro it well enough. And look, white bears, 150 range. Why are they on this side of a river? I don't understand. Is this United States Marines? They are not shooting. For the whole time, look how many time passed. So Prussian Prince wasted too much time microing these units. Now he even forgot to micro his Imperial Guard cavalry. So it's kinda, it feels like Prussian Prince at this point overwhelmed with what is happening. Which means two things. He wasn't prepared for this gun, and look, 200 kills, almost 200 kills. He didn't expect it to kill that much. Because in the previous game, which Prussian Prince played against Serge Levanidov, he himself couldn't use artillery very effectively. Probably he underestimated this unit. Second, he probably didn't... This is a really strange map, and Taiko clearly didn't know how to play on the Saga River, from what I can tell. And Prussian Prince doesn't have a very good plan for Waterfalls, it seems. But at this point it doesn't really look like he's losing to me. Let's take a look. Of course, Prussian Prince lost his general. And he gave up archery dodges somehow. I think Taiko have a rapid capture on his general. He certainly does. But now Prussian Prince, you see, it's problem of small ineffectiveness. All this hierarchy wasted time. Bad charge. Wasted Imperial Guard cavalry without using it. Wasted general for no apparent reason. Wasted time with his United States Marines here. But now it doesn't look bad for Prussian Prince. Armstrong gun guys getting into the melee. No armor for them. I wonder if you can put your artillery near the archery dodger and get armor replenished. Now this is very close. I would even give a small edge to Prussian Prince. But look at how good Taiko plays. Stand and fight here. And this last hierarchy of his. 24 men left. 144 men killed. And he doesn't waste a second. He didn't stay in prolonged fight with hierarchy with this with Royal Marines. He charged this United States Marines from the back. Then he charged Black Tortoise Force. And now what is he doing? He microing it to cycle charge.
A unit is running from the battlefield.
Very good play. It's what you want to do, especially when there is so small amount of units left on the map. You want to use each unit to its maximum potential. And Taiko, in this game, Taiko clearly overplayed Prussian Prince. It's kind of no question here. I think overall Prussian Prince it's kind of statistical. Yet again, you know, statistically, he have a better micro. He have much more stable play from the games I have seen of Taiko and Prussian Prince. But you see, if you look objectively at this game, you can see that Prussian Prince did not use his forces effectively. He didn't know how to use them. He kind of allowed his allied units to be shooted at by the artillery. He allowed 3 spear levies that can do nothing to waste time of his hierarchy. And in the end, he didn't micro his line enough when the main force that Prussian Prince got was a line, but he was managing his very weak cavalry instead of managing his line. And Taiko, he managed all of his units in the end. You have seen it. Just cycle charging cavalry, moving his line in and back. He clearly overplayed Prussian Prince in this game. Clearly. And what is happening? It's 2-2. And before the game, Prussian Prince was clear favorite of this, and Taiko himself started poll on Aggony clan forums, and it was like 50 men voted for Prussian Prince win and 6 men voted for Taiko win. Me myself voted for Prussian Prince because from the games I have seen previously, he's overall stronger player. He have bigger variety of builds. He have kind of better micro, but that's a problem of that I have, and Prussian Prince seems to have it too. Third game thrown him out of the balance, and on the maps that he doesn't know very well, it seems, and he kinda cannot adapt fast enough. And while his mind busy adapting, his micro falls back. His micro quality really falls down. Maybe he was too relaxed after 2-0 score. I don't know. Oh man, we have last game waiting for us, and we will see how it goes. Now let's take a look at the final statistic. 500 man difference in deployed man, and Taiko was super effective with his forces. 500 man difference in killed. Well, 450, but man, this is sick. Let's see. And you see, each unit Taika put money on was used effectively. Royal Marines, 290 kills. Shogun Guard Infantry, 250 kills. Armstrong Gun, 200 kills. Yariki, this is sick. This vanilla Yariki getting 174 kills. I showed you this couple of times. You don't need highly level Yariki if you plan to use it against opponent's infantry. You only need high level Yariki against to get map control. So if you're defender, for example, you don't need strong Yariki, and both players use this idea in all 4 games. We didn't see that many strong cavalry plays. But learning to use it effectively is a skill. So I hope CA will not really corrupt replacing this patch, because I suggest you to watch this game replay. I'm not sure if I did it good enough on this cast. I didn't show how well this Yariki charged. It's kind of last 2 minutes how he is charging again and again different line units of Prussian Prince. Very good micro. Shogun Guard Cavalry, maybe not super effective, but still good, and they still weren't dead. So nice here. Shugitai, okay, let's say okay, but they bought Taika some time and they forced Prussian Prince to break his line formation when they pushed his left flank. This Yariki paid for itself, Yarikachi not really, but they did nicely in the end, zoning out these 2 Yariki of Prussian Prince that tried to sneak into the rear of Taika. Nice touch. Okay, Spear Levis is a mid shield. This Yariki at the beginning, well, Taika pretty much threw them away just to get this Spear Levy to block this choke point. Overall, this one I see as a bad play, because these 3 Spear Levies, Taika was lucky that Prussian Prince did a mistake by wasting his Yariki time, because these 3 Spear Levies, they were doomed in that choke point because of the General and Imperial Guard Cavalry of Prussian Prince. This was a bad decision. But in a game, both players do a mistake, so this mistake Prussian Prince kinda forgave. And for Prussian Prince, his Royal Marines did okay, considering how much pummeling they got from that artillery. His United States Marines, nah. his black tortoise force did better. And overall, complete disaster. He couldn't use his forces. This time he didn't have a good coordination of his own forces. He didn't have a good timings, and he didn't have a good angles for his line. And yet again, it's not how you play against strong artillery. I mean, you don't present your more expensive units from the very beginning. It's kind of... That's the idea of artillery, to make your opponent pay for bringing allied units. Okay then. 2-2 score. They are even now. And we are going into tiebreaker. And here it is. Rice fields as a tiebreaker this time. Map I really dislike as a tiebreaker, just because, I mean, it's the idea of tiebreaker is that we want to have a balanced map that will not give an advantage to player with particular playstyle, right? But Rice Fields gave clear an advantage to a player with particular line-heavy playstyle. Okay, here, oh man, I'm sorry. Rice Fields, Taiko have kind of balanced composition with a line accent, emphasis, let's say it that way. He have 4 Yariki, all vanilla, Vermilion Bird, 2 Vermilion Bird force on the front. Well, I told you why I don't like this unit. Its shooting stats are not worth it. Morale is, but shooting stats are not. Black Bear infantry here, United States Marines, another Black Bear infantry, and 4 Spear Levy, I guess. Yeah. Gun, Armstrong gun, level 9. Does he have 2 of them? Ah, no. In the previous game it didn't get any casualties. And the general of Taika is common gen with gun enabled. Okay then, and Prussian Prince. Yep, Miller Russian Rice Field, and I would say you why he did it. Well, after I call it. After I call his composition, he have 4 Yariki level 6. He have 2 Shogun Guard Cavalry level 6. He have 4 Spear Levies. Always 3 of them with morale upgrade. He have 3 Shugitais, vanilla, and Bushido gen with gun enabled. Interestingly enough, Prussian Prince doesn't use defense upgrade for his general, which does not really help with his survivability. But this is a good unit to get rid of routing units. And after the game, Prussian Prince told me why he brought Miller Rush. It seems that he played some sparring matches with Killerfish, and Killerfish won against him using Miller Rush on a Rice Field. Well, I would say it's possible to win using Miller Rush on Rice Fields. Of course it is. We have seen Twitchy winning against Duck on our Rice Fields using Miller Rush. And I have that game on my channel. It was one of the Gerudo Flash tournaments, I believe. The problem is, and the problem isn't with the build. I think it's overall a bad decision to use some build just because you lost to someone who used that build against you. And I mean, it's okay on a ladder. When you lose to line heavy build, you must use it yourself to understand its weaknesses. But when you do it in a tournament game, I don't suggest you to. You only want to use play styles you're really familiar with. And I'm not sure how good Prussian Prince on rushing on Rice Fields. And I guess this is because that 2-2 score throwed him out of his mental balance. he's seeking for some solution, but it's not a good idea. It's like he fighting shadows, but you want to fight a certain opponent. And if you don't know what your opponent would do, you don't want to do something random. You want to bring your best build, which you know best, and play your game instead of playing your opponent game. But let's take a look at how this rush goes. Maybe it will work out, but I don't believe in it. You see? Spear levies running away without even touching these vermilion dot forces. And this Shugita is already wavering. And look how nice positioned forces of Taiko. Let's slow this down because of everything that is happening. I think this cavalry charge coming too late. Way too late. Prussian Prince could have charged these vermilion dot forces long before saving his spear levies, I think, and these Shugitais. And look how his own Shugitais destroys the charge bonus for this Yariki. Here, Shogunate Guard Cavalry of Prussian Prince does okay, but he kinda lost half of both units here. Because of these spear levies. But they're routing. Now Prussian Prince kinda... You see, the problem is right now Prussian Prince kinda can't get it. The only thing Prussian Prince need right now is to get rid of this United States Marines. And he may get it. Because these spear levies are not a big problem. But you see how he losing his momentum very fast. And to get these United States Marines, now he have to charge in this blob where Taiko have two spear levies, he have his cavalry, and United States Marines have decent melee attack, and there is a general of Taiko in a stand-and fight, and suddenly all the cavalry of Prussian Prince starting to die. What can I tell? So you see how interestingly done. Two units, and this is an idea I have been playing a lot with, and Taiko kinda did it so beautifully. When you're playing against melee rush or against cavalry heavy build, you may actually want to leave a huge gaps between your line. Why? Because these gaps, even though they allow opponent's cavalry to sneak in, they allow your own line to shoot through. And you see how with only 5 units what Taiko did. 2 units on the front to meet this engaging units. Unit here to shoot from the flank. Unit in the middle to shoot and help any of these units. It's so cool. I mean, the only thing Taiko probably need is to play a little bit better with his spear levies. But this is such a stable, such a nice formation. Even if your opponent sneak a cavalry, he will lose momentum just because of the spear levies. And if there is spear levy, here and here, you only need 5 of them. And this is such a stable build. I mean, I like it. I tried to do it myself, but it isn't working very well on a maps with tricky terrain. But on a flat map, you see how beautifully it played. It's like Prussian Taiko was completely ready to meet melee rush or cavalry heavy build. And just imagine if Taiko didn't bring this artillery and instead brought one more Marines unit, it would be even stronger. Very cool formation. Look at this, learn it. And even thought overall, I guess I feel like a Prussian Prince, a little bit stronger player, but after this match, honestly, I would say they're even, because Taiko clearly have a very interesting ideas to show. I mean, this is what you call a smart play. he have some he have a very strong basics. I mean, in the first games he showed his weakness, and his weakness is melee rushes. He cannot melee rush, and he cannot do good on Saga River. So Taika kinda cannot do well on a move, but he showed that he can do very well in a more stable situation. He can do well with infantry core builds, and he have very interesting builds, I should say. And this is the kind of thing. Before this match, no matter what games of Taika I watched, there was no signature move. But now, after watching this match replays, I feel that I can recognize Taika play. If you show me replay with his game and do not show me the names of the players, I still think that I can recognize him. Just because this is something unique. This is something I don't see much. And it's strong, and I can see that there is some thinking involved in his builds that he showed in 3 last games. And no wonder PrussianPrince couldn't crack them that easily. Because you really need to prepare to destroy something like this. Yeah, and it's happened. Another Aggony player actually lost. So Twitch went out of the tournament, Sprint went out of the tournament, and now it's PrussianPrince lost 3-2. And it's kinda sad, but what can I tell? This was a really good match, I think. And this match showed one very important thing. First of all, you never underestimate your opponent. And second, sometimes if you play from your strengths, and if you kinda... I know I have read in chat, Taiko was ready to lose. After the second game, he saw that he lost already, basically. But, you know, I got a feeling that in later games he really played more relaxed. And it's kinda he didn't think about PrussianPrince. He started to thinking about his own build, basically. He brought what he wanted, and he just looked at the map and played the best he can. And honestly, from my experience, this is the best way to play a game. You want to use what you know about your opponent, but you don't want to assume something. You don't want to bet on your opponent doing something. No, and you don't want to play for winning. I mean, when you go into the game, the thing that should be in your mind isn't the winning. It's your goal, but you can't win by thinking about winning. You just want to do the best you can with the tools you can. And before game, you want to bring the best tools, the tools that suit map best. And then, winning, losing, it's not important. Getting the best performance. And if you got the best performance, you will naturally win. Oh man, I'm sorry, I'm talking some philosophy right now, but that's how I see the game. And in fact, it's much more fun, because when I play like this, I can't get myself in this state. But if I can, even if I lose, game feels so much more fun, because it's like a battle meditation when I get soaked up in a game. And I'm not sure, but maybe this is what happened with the Taika, because last 2 games he played beautifully. I liked it very much, and I suggest you to use these ideas. The way he used and actually, it reminded me those games where Twitchy won against Duck using melee rush on the rice fields. Duck used formation that was kind of very close to what Taiko used. Kind of two waves of line units with some gaps between them, but I think Taiko made it even stronger without using a very strong cavalry. I'm not sure if I don't think there is much need to use that final statistic, but let's take a look at this. 2 Vermilion bird forces on the front. It's kind of against melee rush. You would think twice before putting such an expensive unit on the front, because you know they will die of the Shogitai. But they both, if you look at this, they basically routed 3 units of spear levies. I'm not sure if it's worth it, but after getting to this Vermilion bird forces, Prussian Prince basically got no meat shields left. And one of his Shogitais were destroyed because of that by United States Marines shooting at the gap between 2 Vermilion bird forces. And then, because of high morale of these Vermilion bird forces, they stopped 2 remaining Shogitais of Prussian Prince long enough for other Taiko forces to deal with cavalry of Prussian Prince. And that worked beautifully. Armstrong gun did nothing. Let's be honest. Waste of Koku. Absolute waste. But Taiko probably expected to meet line build on the Prussian Prince side, and maybe this was a good idea to bring Armstrong gun. Not sure about it. His cavalry didn't do much, but it certainly did well in terms of stopping Prussian Prince cavalry. Let's say it that way. Spear levies, let's see. Well, not that bad. The main thing they did is they made Prussian Prince to lose momentum of his cavalry and protected United States Marines. Prussian Prince, 2 Shogitais, as I told you, they got 2 units of Vermilion bird force and some spear levies, but overall Prussian Prince lost too much momentum. And the gap between 2 Vermilion bird forces and United States Marines was too big to close distance fast enough. 2 Shogunate Guard cavalries. Very good performance. This is what you would expect from your melee cavalry on a melee rush, but 1 unit of Blackbeards and 1 unit of other Blackbeards. The main thing is that this Shogunate Guard cavalry didn't get to United States Marines, and this Yariki didn't get there to. Spear levies completely decimated without getting into the fight. Nice, this is actually nice. This is what 2 Shogunate Guard cavalry can do if you approach with using them from a right angle. They completely screwed up left flank of Taika, and I think they routed 1 unit of spear levies as well. Very well done. So, good games for both players. It's a shame Prussian Prince didn't go any further. I kinda rooted for him, but still I think Taika totally deserves to go further after this match. Well done for both players, and good luck for Taika, and good luck for Prussian Prince in a next tournament he will be participating. I think we will have a couple of Shogun tournaments before Rome 2, and maybe Prussian Prince will have a chance for revenge, and maybe I will have a chance for revenge too. Thank you for watching, guys. See you later.